for the communists in Congress instead of George Santos casting a vote for the Americans in Congress. And he was a reliable, solid conservative vote, and let the people of this district, would have been able to decide whether or not to keep him, except he chose not to run anyway. Hey, John, I want to alert you, the big issue of the day, though, that today and tomorrow is this FISA reform. FISA reform. The rubber's going to meet the road today on what we're going to do to reform FISA. You've got the two competing interests, the Intelligence Committee and the Judiciary Committee, competing bills, got merged into one. We're going to have 4 amendments that will reform FISA appropriately that need to pass the Judiciary Committee amendments versus the 3 amendments from the Intel Committee. And I'll just summarize it in this, John. We can't keep spying without a warrant. We can't keep buying data from private companies that would require a warrant. That's when the federal government buys data that they can't get without a warrant. They just buy it from private companies. You can't expand spying to cover local private hotspots, Wi-Fi hotspots. You're sitting in a McDonald's, or you're sitting in a hotel, and the government can't expand spying to cover those areas. And then we just can't add more ways to spy. And the Intelligence Committee wants to expand spying powers, wants to expand surveillance on U.S. citizens without a warrant, wants to fight the warrant provision. So you're going to see a showdown today and tomorrow. We're going to see where the speaker is. We're going to see where the Republican Party is. We're going to have members on record voting. Do they stand up for Americans and liberty and freedom, or do they stand up for the deep state swamp? The FISA reform is a big, big deal today and tomorrow to see where that goes.
How does it look? I mean, we're all opposed to this. It's outrageous that we're still doing these things without warrants, but we know you got a bunch of Republicans in there. They're going to say, it's got to keep you safe, and they're going to cave. What does Johnson do? How do we win this?
Yeah. Well, what the Speaker has said was he's been on the Judiciary Committee for his whole career, and he was on the side of the Judiciary Committee reforms until he becomes Speaker, and then the intelligence community brings him into a room and scares the heck out of him. The people who want to do the spying scare the heck out of him, tell him that, hey, if we don't do this spying, there's going to be terrorist acts in the country, but we can't sacrifice liberty in the name of safety, because then we will get or deserve neither. And so we
have over 100,000 miles of veins and arteries. Our heart pumps 2,500 gallons of blood through our bodies every day. Our heart beats 100,000 times every day. Taking care of our heart and cardiovascular system is key to having a healthy life well into our 80s. If you have a weak heart, you're tired, you're weak. Life is not fun. I'm 75 years old and take 0 prescription drugs. I've been taking Solti's active ingredient for over 20 years. I hope you will start taking care of yourself today by going to GodzillaHeart.com and start taking Solti today. Use the code Godzilla at checkout to get our best offer, which is 50% off your first shipment and 3 bottles for the price of 2 thereafter. Please start taking care of yourself today.
Friends, Adam here at Patriot Foods. PatriotFoods.com. We need your help. The U.S. farmer needs your help more than ever. Listen, go to PatriotFoods.com. And remember, we're not survival food, folks. We're food going from your dirt, your country. End of story. U.S. only, supporting the American farmer. Hey, remember, we're building this patriotic economy together, right? Hey, PatriotFoods.com. U.S. only, supporting the U.S. farmer, my friends, every time. Promo code Godzilla. PatriotFoods.com. Shop today.
Don't touch that dial. You found your home of the truth.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
With the best analysis in America.
You can't handle the truth.
And now back to the John Frederick Show.
John Frederick's Media Network. Unbelievable. I just, you know what? We cover this every day. They kick George Santos out. They lose the seat to a communist. Finally, I got Bob to say communist because that's what we're fighting. They're all communists. There's no centrist. This guy's running around, well, I'm a common sense Democrat, centrist. No, you're going to do exactly what the communists and Hakeem Jeffries says, just like they all do. And then Mike Johnson goes from, I'm on the Judiciary Committee, I'm for reforming FISA, no warrants, to, my staff says I got to vote for I got to vote for the Intel Committee. Your staff. Oh, the same staff that Nancy Mace fired all of them? By the way, Christine, where's Mace? You got to get her back on. It's another thing. I got a bunch of things written down. We got to get Mace on. We got to get Bob Good on Friday. Just figure it out. Find a time. Who cares? Call in, Skype. I don't care. Get him back in for a recap. How are you going to stop this Ukraine bill? They're going to discharge it to the floor. Johnson's going to cave on that too. Yet, one at a time. Hey, good news, Rana's gone. Or she'll be gone. Oh, she's tweeting out, oh, not so fast. Oh, yeah, fast. But it shows you, though, what we can do when we get together, right? I've been a one-man gang against Romney, getting her out of there. And I took enormous heat, and I know Bannon called me out, gave me a shout-out yesterday. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it. But I've been a lonely one-man band. You have no idea the heat that I came under. Calls from people I wouldn't return when I was in Vegas. Multiple calls. I'm not going to tell you who, where, what, or why. High places, calls. Wouldn't return the call. Why? Because what's the point? I'm not going to return the call because it's all bad. And I'm going to tell them what they don't want to hear. You know, when I went to Dana Point with Ann last year to try to get rid of her legitimately, you know, they wanted me to stop doing that, and I wouldn't. They backed off. Do what you got to do, they said, and I did, and they won. Not so fast. 888-480-John. Frank, New York, line 3. You're live. Never better, Frank. Yes, sir. Thank you. What's on your mind? What's on your mind, Frank? Okay, well, I'll decide when I'm going to cut you off, but go ahead. Fluoride toothpaste? What is this, Frank? Is this a prank call at like 8:25? Right. Was that fabric softener you put in the washing machine? All right. Well, listen. I'm in big trouble. Because I just did my laundry here in DeLand, Florida, at the hotel, and I did purchase the dryer sheets and put those in the dryer with my clothes. So how long do I have to live? Okay. What else? No. Okay, got it. No toothpaste, got it. No dryer sheets, got it. What else? Okay, got it. What else? Who's the Freemasons? I'm not familiar with the Freemasons, honestly. Just that when I go by one of their buildings, they're very elaborate. They have no windows. Why is that? I thought the Knights of Columbus got banned because they're Italians. Well, they're the Italians. Colonel Mike is in that Knights of Columbus. He used to be on my show all the time. All right, so I'm half Italian and I'm a Catholic and a Bible Catholic. So can I get in the Knights of Columbus? Do I qualify? What's that? What's the ritual? What's the ritual? Well, I had to pay for my own college and work to get through it. It's fairly Dickinson. And I lived in somebody's house, and I rented a bedroom, so I couldn't afford dorms. So I don't know anything about sororities, but yeah, it's all good. Okay, so all right, tell me about. This is actually interesting. I have not cut you off, so obviously I'm intrigued, and I got about 3.5 minutes. So tell me about this Freemasons. I remember my grandfather, my father's father, said, if you're a Freemason, and if anything happens to you in the whole world, if you're a Freemason, you find another Mason, they'll help you out. What's the deal with the Masons? Yeah. Well, what are the Masons? I got 2 minutes. What are the Masons? Oh, that was that movie. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. All right. Well, why don't I got to go? Why don't the Masons have windows? All right, I got to go. Meet me. I'm not on a date. Frank. You get all kinds, right? Frank from New York, Masons, Knights of Columbus, and I thought that was an